Hey everyone, my name is James and welcome back to ChippysCouch. So thankfully didn't die in my office yesterday, even though it was as hot as an oven. Technically it's hotter today in England, but I don't feel as hot. Like I don't know what the science is behind that, but I actually feel pretty cool. So thankfully no fan noises today. I did my best to edit it out where I could. We don't have aircon in Britain, we have fans that you just plug in, they make a racket, they're not that great. But that's the way it is. We only get like 5 days of heat here, so what's the big deal, right? Well, welcome back to the Thorium throwing class series. In today's episode, I have one big goal, and that big goal is the Brain of Cthulhu. Now, I have a lot of issues with the Brain of Cthulhu, not with its design or anything like that. I actually quite like the boss. However, I'm not very good at it. And I fear I might be even worse today because I'm using a class that I'm not used to. Usually when I do the Brain of Cthulhu, that sounds amazing to say, the Brain, I use a water bolt, something like that. But I'm thinking with my goblin balls, I might actually be able to pierce it and do a good bit of damage. So the start of today's episode is about one thing and one thing only, and I've said it a million times this series: get in some health, get in some life crystals. Get in some heart upgrades, because I'm still not at 400, and as I told you, I will keep saying it until I get 400, because that number is like ingrained in my head. I need this many hit points to live, but I think I'd probably be fine without them, but I just kind of want to do it. So here's where I was thinking of going down to. There's this area over here. I'm taking the wrong path, but there's an area here that I haven't explored, and that seems like the kind of area that I want to go to. So, I want to say a big thank you to all of you. YouTube has this feature where it tells me how the last episode does, and every day it gets a little bit more clever, and it tells me exactly why it's doing better. Does that make sense? Like it goes, oh, you're up 10%, it's because of this, and it tries to do its best to figure it out. But the most recent one was it's up because of more subscriber interest, which means that the people that have actually subscribed are coming back to the channel more frequently. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's nice to have some active subscribers. You never know. Could have had a subscriber from a couple of years ago. He's gone now. You know, he's doing other things. He's not playing Terraria. I understand. But to all of you that are playing and watching now, I really appreciate it. So I'm starting today's episode with that little thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, I keep getting confusion, and I'm kind of annoyed about it. Can you stop? Please. Alright, here's the area I want to go. It's a little bit dark. I wonder how I even discovered this. I'm guessing I just kind of wandered near it. Let's have a little look. Let's discover together. This does seem like the kind of area... Why am I getting confusion? Is it feral bite? Is that what it is? Causes status effects. Oh my god. I've never noticed that feral bite was so bad before. Is that a vanilla thing? Is that a modded thing? I don't actually know. Maybe it's because I've got a big slime on my head. The game is a little bit confused. James, you're not a slime. But will make you move like a moron. Because that's what it feels like. It feels like walking like a moron. Okay. No heart crystal. This really did seem like the kind of area that would give me a lot. Oh my, I'm sick of this confusion. Like, you have to hear me react to it before you guys even notice, because you're not the one in control, but let me tell you, it's very, very annoying. Okay, let's see what else is around here. Lots of lava and stuff. Oh, I should say, the reason I'm doing the Brain of Cthulhu is because I want the pickaxe, the upgraded pickaxe. And the reason I want that is because I want to get myself some magma ore. Magma ore gets turned into magma bars, and then if you mix that with obsidian, you can make bowling balls that you can throw at people. And that's the only reason I'm doing it. I'm not a fantastic bowler. I feel like if I was in a video game, I could be the guy that throws... Oh my god. I could throw bowling balls at people. I think I could do that pretty well. I'm a pretty good thrower of the... Oh my god, I'm getting confused. I'm trying to say basketballs and bowling balls. Bowling balls. I could throw bowling balls at people. Which is a weird thing to take out of context, but it's kind of true. I've got a good throw with these things. So I did manage to find a life crystal. Pretty good. It wasn't where I wanted it to be, but at least I found one. Oh god. Crawdads, get out of here. Get out of here. You're no good unless you're giving me the rally. Otherwise I don't care about you. Okay, let's check what's around this area. Is that life quartz? If it is, I'll take it. Thank you very much. I might actually have enough life quartz to make another heart crystal. Come to think of it, if I've got 6, I'm pretty certain I've got 7 back home. And I have a feeling like it's 10. I feel like you need 10. I don't know. We'll have a little look around. I just want some life. Oh, there's one over there. Nice. Okay, cool. Can I grab thorium ore now? I don't believe I can, but I will check. Oh. Oh, I actually can. I've been avoiding it. And people have been pointing out, like, oh, why haven't you grabbed the thorium ore? And I've been thinking, guys, it's because I haven't got the pickaxe. But apparently not. All right. Well, that's interesting. That's a bit of a plot twist I wasn't really expecting. Okay, grab that. And then is there anything over here? We'll be coming to a marble biome soon, actually, because there is a marble boss. I think it's called the Buried Champion. So there is a marble boss in Thorium that we'll eventually have to do. So this might be the one that we come back to. It's kind of cool with all the lava. I feel like it would make a great arena. Only if the lava could deal damage to the boss, which is probably not the case, but if it did, oh, it'd be perfect. It'd be absolutely perfect. Okay, let's see. Hermes Boots, and to be honest, there's more stuff to sell. I'm pleased with that. I'll take it. Okay, so I added a couple more houses to our area. So I added this stack here. I added an extra one here, and then I changed some of the doors. I removed the doors, essentially, and just put platforms so I can just kind of work my way through. I like this aesthetic, this wooden box aesthetic, where you can just kind of run through everything. I don't know, I think it's kind of nice. It's probably not. It's probably pretty bad. So there is something I wanted to buy today. I wanted to buy a blank Technic scroll. And this is going to make a new technique. So one of these, we're going to make some molten thingy bars soon. And we're going to be using them. Now, I wanted to check. Do I have my NPC? I do. She's over here. She sells buffs. Give her a warm round of applause for Lucy. I will take 2 of those, 2 of those, and 2 of those. I don't want to be... 2 of those as well. I don't want to be too powerful. I don't want to be like overdoing it on the buffs at this point in the game. However, I'm just getting the ones that I would probably be making anyway. So let's have a little look. Life quartz. Life quartz. I've got my 7. I will take them out of here. I haven't organized the chests yet. I do need to do it. Bam. Okay. Right. So I think I might actually be ready for the Brain of Cthulhu. I mean, I've got pretty decent health, 340. I've also got pretty decent armor, one that gives a good amount of buffs. And I've got my goblin balls, which I think will take me pretty far in my adventure. Or at least I think they will. Man, I'm in such a gaming mood at the minute. I go through phases where I'm not really interested in games all that much. Like, for example, I'll go for a phase where if I'm, like, relaxing, I'll put on a Netflix show. Or if I'm relaxing, I'll go out for a walk. I'll go on my skateboard. You know what I mean? Like, something like that. But at the minute, I'm like, free time. Oh my god, we're playing some games, boys. And I don't count Terraria in this, although that is kind of a lie, because I've got my my physical Switch version of Terraria coming today, which was delayed for no reason. They were just like, oh, your package has been delayed. It might come in a couple of days, but apparently it's coming today. And I'm hearing that, and I'm thinking, man, I really want to beat Terraria on a physical cartridge, just so I have that save file there on the cartridge. And I'm like, yeah, you probably don't need to, James. You've already done it, and I'm pretty sure saves don't save on the cartridge anyway. But my mind is like, you just need to do it, James. You need to go back in. You need to replay Terraria on the Switch. Such a good game. Such a good game. I'd really, really recommend it. And then I'm like, well, I really want to play Breath of the Wild in Master Mode, because I haven't played that in a while. I'm like, well, you don't really have time to invest 50 hours into Breath of the Wild. And then I'm like, well, I could be playing The Witcher 3. I've never played The Witcher 3 before, and I own it. And I can play it in glorious 4K, and it'll be really immersive. Or I can wait for the Switch edition. Do you get what I'm getting at anyway? Do you get what's going on here? Basically what I'm saying is, I am in such a mood to play games. It's kind of crazy. Screams echo around you. Not great. I actually was pretty convinced then that that was going to be the fight. Alright, that wasn't the fight. The good thing is we're using sticky bombs here, so I'll get a few seconds to run back. Okay, let's give this a go. I'm hoping this goes well, but like I said, I'm not very good at the Brain of Cthulhu. I'm really hoping that the goblin balls are actually like... Oh, okay, right. So I'm going to say this right now. This fight is a done deal. It's a one fight. I'm going to win this. Because looking at the health bar of some of those creepers already, and I'm only using goblin balls, this makes me very, very excited. I think the only thing I might struggle with... that for one of them. But I think the only thing I might really struggle with is the teleporting phase. I might struggle with that because these goblin balls are pretty slow to throw. Which is a rhyme that I didn't realize I'd ever say. I like the Brain of Cthulhu quite a bit, actually. I'm just a corruption boy at heart because I'm an OG. If I wasn't an OG, I think I'd really like the Brain of Cthulhu. I can see why people go, oh, I always play Brain of Cthulhu. I can see the benefits. And I don't use the worm scarf anymore. So, like, I'm not really bothered about losing that item. But I used to say, oh, I only do corruption because of the worm scarf. I don't like the confusion accessory. And I still don't. I think the confusion accessory sucks compared to the worm scarf. But I think considering I don't use the worm scarf anymore anyway, I could get behind Crimson. I don't know. I still feel like we need a mechanical Brain of Cthulhu, but it will never happen. I feel like they've already said this before, but they consider the mechanical bosses a little lazy now. And I guess Okram was kind of that for a few people, you know, because Okram was very Brain of Cthulhu-like. Almost. Same kind of shape, even though Okram came out before 1.2, so there is that. But that being said, I would like a mechanical version of this boss. I don't like that you have to do the Destroyer when you're in a Crimson world. Is that strange? I don't know. I don't know if that's... What do you guys think? Would you have a mechanical Brain of Cthulhu? I would. But I'm kind of flip-floppy on that. So that was a fantastic fight. It was well done. I didn't use too many buffs, so I'm proud of that. So I'm going to speak to this guy here, and I'm going to sell you this. I'm also going to sell him this. Some of this stuff we're just not going to be using, so there's no point hoarding it away for absolutely nothing. Like this, for example, is all stuff that could be sold because we are doing other stuff. Ooh, it even has a good treasure bag. Like, look at that. Like, that's inviting. It's got a little heart on there. You open it up, you get a weapon for the healer class, the Stalker. Heals allies and player life equal to your bonus healing. Swing a gruesome mace that releases lingering healing. I'm going to test this out just to see what it looks like. It's alright. Kind of looks more like a yo-yo than a mace because of the circle bit at the end. But we will sell it. I'm trying to get as much money as possible in case we need it. Yeah, the Brain of Confusion is just... I don't know, it's just not great. I wouldn't say it's great. So what do we need? We need some of this ore. Ore, let's see. Ore, okay. I will take this one piece and I will take some of these and I'm going to smelt together a whole bunch of good stuff here. So we need to make the bars first off. Let's make a whole bunch of bars. Nice. And then I will make... There is some new hatchets. These, they're called Crintane Tomahawks. They do 16 damage, and people were recommending them to me. So they're just like the iron ones. I'd say they probably have about the same distance, but I feel like the goblin balls might still be better. Actually, I don't know. These are piercing and they stay on the ground, so that's a big win. But these rotate for a few seconds, so these might be better. Alchemist NPC charm. We don't need that. Thank God, because we're going to be doing other stuff. So let me make a pickaxe. Bam. Da-da-da-da. That's literally the only thing I wanted today. The rest I'm really not too phased about. So what I'm going to go do now is get some of the magma stuff. I've got some bars already. Like, I'll show you them. They're these, basically. And we got these in the chest. So I've got my hands on some magma ore. You find it just above hell. It's actually pretty easy to find. I thought it might be a little bit more difficult to get. But I've grabbed a whole bunch of it, and I also grabbed some obsidian as well, because you need obsidian to make the bowling balls. And I don't really know if the bowling balls are going to be any good or not. I really am just making them because they're bowling balls. So I just had to stop my recording, right, because my doorbell went, and I was like, right, gotta get up, gotta get down there nice and quick. Best stop recording, just in case. Yeah, it turned out it was my copy of Terraria for the Switch, which is like, almost like YouTube look. I say it out loud, 10 minutes later, it arrives. You have to remember, I've been waiting for this game for 2 days. I say it in one video, bam, I get it in real life. That is YouTuber look. Okay, so I don't think this is anything that we need, but I remember that you can combine all of these rings together. So we're kind of getting these for free. Magma Charm transforms you into a molten maggot. While transformed, you are smaller and immune to intense heat. I will put it on, but I don't see myself using it. So just warning you now. I like the idea of transformations, and I think a younger self would have said, oh, I love transformations. They should add transformations into Terraria. Like, I'm fairly certain I've said that before. But I'm not really interested too much in them, only because I'm not really interested in mounts in Terraria either. Which is also something I was very excited about when I was younger. I used to hype up mounts like nobody's business. If I had to run any length of distance, I'd be wearing a unicorn. Do you know what I mean? I'm excited for the Flamingo mount in 1.4 though. I think that's going to be great. That was a hard sentence to say. I'm excited for the Flamingo mount. Excited for the Flamingo... Oh, God, it's difficult. I don't know what's going on with me recently. My cadence is all off and I'm jumbling over myself. But what's really different? Nothing. Alright, let me grab some magma bars. So the first thing we need to make is this scroll thing. I don't know where you make it. Where you make it here. Okay. Sticky explosive. Costs 2 technique points. We only have 2 right now. Sorry, we have 3 right now. Throws out a sticky bomb that explodes after a short delay. Okay, so this is now our active scroll. So we need to deal some damage to test this out. And I want to test it out away from the base, just because this might end up being an actual, like, bomb. Okay, I was going to test it out now, but I don't have any technique points, so I need to grab some. First thing I did, though, with my copy of Terraria for the Switch, is I took a selfie, I old manified it, just to really represent the fact that it's so late, and I posted it to Twitter, because that's just what you do these days, right? Okay. Whoa. Let me kill this thing. And there's my 2 technique points. Throw it out. They're so underwhelming. I'm sorry. The first one was underwhelming, and that one was probably even worse. So let me make some bowling balls. I'll make 200 of them. I don't know if they're any good, like I said. So let's test them out. Oh, they are. They are. They're bad. They're actually like bowling balls. I feel like somebody out there could make a really banging setup out of this. This is almost like I killed 100 bosses in one tick using bowling balls. That's what that reminds me of. That's interesting. Was it worth dedicating a whole episode to? Probably not. I mean, I literally did the boss just to get the bowling balls. So that really speaks to what I want. Ancient Obsidian helmet. Equipable, and it's also a vanity item. So these are all vanity outfits. You don't get that too often in Terraria with a lot of mods. You don't get too many craftable vanity outfits that are equipable. Huh. Well, I might make one. How much have I got? Yeah, got a lot. May as well. I mean, oh, I didn't mean to make that one. I wanted to make the chest. There we go. And I'll make the chest for that as well. Sorry, the legs. Just forgetting what body parts what there. Ooh, I look kind of cool. I look kind of interesting. So what boss is next? The next one is the Queen Jellyfish. This is one that you do in the ocean. So you need a Jellyfish Resonator. This is going to be a fun one to do. If I remember correctly, you need to be able to dodge pretty well to do this one, because it has things that fling you into the air. The good thing about our armor set is the wings allow you to not take fall damage, which is pretty great. So for this, you need some Victide bars, sorry, some aquatic bars, some starfish, and some seashells. Aquatic bars. How do you make these? So you make these out of coral and sea scales. So that's probably in the aquatic depth. So what I might do is I might take some breathing potions and go down into that area. I'm not too certain what point you do the aquatic depths or whatever it's called in the Thorium mod. So maybe give me a little bit of a hand with that one. That's one thing I ask. It's just a little bit of help with that, because I don't want to miss it, you know? I want to make sure I'm doing it all properly. Okay, breathing potions. Gills. That's what it is. Okay, right. Let me grab some flippers, and I'll see you there. Oh my god, look what we found. It's one of these bad boys. Oh, I love them. Come on, open it up. Let's find out what item we've got. You know the drill. If it's a Pharaoh's outfit, I send some abuse to my friend. If it's not, we cheer. This is not really that useful at this stage in the game, but... Oh, that is disappointing. I was going to say, but I love him anyway, so please give it to me. Okay. My day has been absolutely ruined by that. It's so unmotivating. Oh no. These are pretty good when you're dropping them on people's heads, actually. Am I getting any of those cells? I think it's depth cells that I need. I can't remember now. I feel like it's scales, actually. I feel like I am in the wrong area at the wrong time. Okay, so I've come to get some meteorite because I was like, well, you can make a new weapon out of meteorite, so I may as well grab it. And it's also one of the most satisfying things to do in Terraria when you're playing modded. I think we can all agree. Oh god, I need to get rid of something real quick just to get out of here and grab these bars. Oh, it will be the glowing mushrooms. Get rid of them. Oh, okay. How much should I grab? Oh wait, have I already got it in my inventory? Am I just... Yeah, okay, I got 191 pieces, so it's probably more than enough. Definitely enough to go back on. Whee, okay. So here's why. We can make those grenadey boys out of them. So we're going to be doing that. There is so much to craft here. The game's like, I don't know how to display all of this. Meteorite, there we go. Oh, grab a whole bunch of that. Okay. And then we also need to make some of those bars. So I'm going to make 4 bars because I think it's only 4 that you need. So these are the throwing class. They're called Meteorite Cluster Bombs. And I will make 600 of these because I'm going to replace them with the bowling balls because the bowling balls suck. And then now I'm going to organize my inventory because this is just too much. So we have these cluster bombs, right? And they're pretty good. I like them. I'll show you what they look like in a second because I was just testing them out. But basically, they fragment once they hit. As you can see, it drops off 3 little ones. Now, if we're doing this in the ocean, those little bombs are going to be going down into the water. So I'm kind of curious to see whether they'll impact, and then if they hit something else, the smaller ones, they'll then blow up, or whether it's like a timed thing. Because if they do blow up, this could be really fun. But I don't want to build an arena for this where I like cover up the ocean. I think that'd be kind of boring. So I brought with me some spiky balls and some crimtane tomahawks. But then I've also got goblin spears. And we are ready to go. So I think this episode will end up being a lot longer than some of the other episodes. So if it ends up being longer, you best give it a like. Because it takes longer to upload. So I need your support. Okay, so I would say right now, these are probably not the best. And I think the big reason for that, these are just so much better, aren't they? Like, these are absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I think the big reason is the throwing arc is a little hard to kind of get my head around. So I think this is one of those fights where it just gets progressively harder. So what I think happens is it starts to like, yeah, it sends out these little bubbles. And then the bubbles throw you in the air. And I think that's why I used to die a lot in this fight, because it would throw you up into the air, and then you would die from fall damage. But because of the fact we got the wings, I don't think that's going to happen, which is great. The thing that always reminds me of this fight is the fact that the noise, the bouncing noise, is just the bumper noise from the minecarts. It's a little distracting, just a little bit. I feel like they should get somebody in to make a new sound, right? What should the new sound be? I don't know. Somebody should marathon SpongeBob, see what kind of fish noises they make in that show, go from there. I'd like more SpongeBob-inspired mods. SpongeBob's actually pretty legit. I watched the second movie the other day, and I actually had a banging time. How bad is that? I'm 22 years old, everybody. Now, I grew up with the show. It's nostalgia. It's nostalgia. Okay, let me crack on with this fight. This is going to go on for a while because there's a lot of things getting in the way of me and the spears. But as you can see, there's a lot of enemies. And let me test that grenade theory out now, actually. So the fact that we haven't got grenades going down to the floor probably means that the smaller ones do in fact impact, which is great. That's what I wanted. I'm almost trying to tank this fight just because it's going on too long. Oh, I just I just completely messed that up right at the end. Oh, great. That was one of those fights, though, where it was just taking so long, you were kind of getting bored of it. What it was is some of my throwing weapons weren't able to reach it. So I'm going to factor that in for when I do the next fight, because I want the next fight to actually feel like a real boss fight. That one felt like a bit more of a bullet sponge, if you know what I mean. Like, you just keep doing damage, and it doesn't really seem to do out. Interesting, interesting. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't already, maybe consider clicking the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber, maybe consider clicking the notification bell. We've been trying to get that notification bell statistic even higher. It's been working pretty well, but we could always be doing better. Thank you all for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.